Welcome to Psychology Wisdom, where we dive deep into the complexities of human emotions, relationships, and behavior. In today's video, we're going to explore an intriguing topic: 5 secrets you should never share with your partner in a relationship. Whether you're in a new relationship or trying to strengthen an existing one, knowing when and what to share can make all the difference in building a healthy, thriving connection. In relationships, honesty is important, but not every truth needs to come out right away. Some things, like your past relationships, financial troubles, insecurities, and personal fears, can be sensitive topics that, when revealed too soon, can cause unnecessary tension or strain. So, how do you navigate this delicate balance of openness without overwhelming your partner? Today, we're going to break down 5 things you should keep to yourself in the early stages, and why it's crucial for the emotional well-being of both you and your partner. Stick around as we unpack these relationship secrets and explore how they can affect your connection in ways you might not expect. Let's get into it. In any relationship, honesty and trust are the foundation of a strong bond, but not all truths need to be shared right away. There are certain aspects of our past, our emotions, and our inner thoughts that, while they may be significant, can complicate things if revealed too soon. Relationships take time to build and mature, and with time comes a better understanding of each other. However, there are certain things that might be better kept private, especially in the early stages. It's not about hiding or deceiving your partner, but rather about maintaining a sense of emotional balance and ensuring that the relationship has the room it needs to grow. One of the most common things that people struggle with when entering a relationship is sharing their past. Our past relationships, especially those that were deeply emotional or ended painfully, can shape who we are today, but they don't necessarily need to be laid bare in the early days of a new relationship. The details of your past love life, how many people you've been with, the mistakes you've made, or why a relationship ended, may create unnecessary tension. It can trigger insecurities in your partner, who might start comparing themselves to your exes or questioning your feelings for them. Our past is part of us, but it's not something that should define or haunt the relationship we're trying to build in the present. Then, there's the matter of financial struggles. Money is a sensitive subject for many people, and dealing with financial troubles can already be a huge source of stress. When you're working through debts, financial instability, or even just trying to get your financial life back on track, it can feel vulnerable and uncomfortable to share that information with a partner, especially if the relationship is new. It's natural to want to protect your partner from your financial stress, and it's also okay to want to handle those issues independently, at least until you're ready to bring them into the conversation. Financial transparency is important eventually, but it's better to address it once the relationship has matured and there's more stability and trust. Your insecurities are another deeply personal aspect that can be hard to share with a partner. Everyone has insecurities, whether they relate to body image, personal abilities, or fears of not being good enough. These insecurities can impact how we behave and how we see ourselves in relationships. While being open about your vulnerabilities can create a deeper bond, it's important to recognize when sharing them might place unnecessary emotional pressure on your partner. If your insecurities are deeply rooted, revealing them too soon might unintentionally burden your partner or cause them to feel like they have to reassure you constantly. It's important to work on building your self-confidence first, giving yourself time to heal, and only sharing your insecurities when you feel comfortable and when it feels like the right moment. Another area where honesty can sometimes create unnecessary strain is in your feelings about your partner's friends or family. If you don't immediately connect with their circle of friends or have concerns about their family dynamics, sharing this too early can create tension. Your partner may feel hurt or defensive, especially if they have a close bond with those individuals. While it's okay to not get along with everyone, it's important to consider the long-term nature of the relationship before voicing any negative opinions about their loved ones. Early in the relationship, the focus should be on you and your partner, not on outside influences. Sharing negative opinions too soon can introduce unnecessary conflict and potentially even create division in the relationship. Lastly, your fears about the relationship itself are something that can be overwhelming to share prematurely. It's natural to have fears about the future, especially in the early stages of a relationship. Concerns about whether the relationship will last, doubts about your partner's feelings, or fears of being hurt can create a lot of emotional pressure. While it's important to address those fears eventually, sharing them too soon can place unnecessary strain on your partner. It might make them feel like they need to reassure you constantly, and it can also prevent you from enjoying the early stages of the relationship without worrying about what could go wrong. Fears are normal, but it's often better to work through them on your own first, gaining more confidence in the relationship before sharing your anxieties. At the heart of it all is the understanding that relationships are journeys, not races. Each partner's past, emotions, and inner struggles take time to understand and share. In the beginning, it's okay to keep certain things private, allowing space for your relationship to evolve naturally. It's not about being secretive or dishonest. Rather, it's about being mindful of what is healthy for both individuals and for the relationship itself. Over time, as trust builds and the bond strengthens, those deeper conversations can happen, leading to a deeper, more intimate connection that is rooted in understanding and respect. 1. Your past relationships. Your past relationships can hold a lot of significance in shaping who you are today, but sharing every detail of them with your partner may not always be necessary or healthy. While it's important to be open and honest in a relationship, certain aspects of your past are better kept private. For example, sharing the intimate details of your previous relationships, such as why they ended, who did what, or the emotional baggage you carry from them, can potentially cause unnecessary tension. Your partner may begin to compare themselves to your exes or feel insecure, even if it's not your intention. There's also the possibility of them holding grudges about things that happened before they came into the picture. They might wonder if your past relationship still has an emotional hold over you, or if you still have lingering feelings. It can be difficult to separate your past from your present, and sharing too much about it could blur the lines between the two. Additionally, some details might not even matter in the grand scheme of things. What's more important is how you've grown from those experiences, not necessarily the specifics of what happened. The lessons you learned and the ways you've changed are what contribute to who you are now, and that's what your partner should be focused on. By keeping certain things about your past private, you're allowing the space for your current relationship to build without the weight of old wounds or comparisons. It's not about keeping secrets to deceive your partner. Rather, it's about choosing to protect your relationship from unnecessary complications. Some things from your past are better left in the past, allowing both you and your partner to move forward and build a stronger, healthier future together. When it comes to relationships, sometimes silence speaks louder than words, especially when it comes to things that might hurt or confuse your partner. 2. Financial troubles. Financial troubles are often something that many people prefer to keep private in a relationship. While it's important to eventually be transparent about major financial decisions, sharing every little detail of your financial struggles may not always be necessary, especially early on. The stress of managing money, dealing with debts, or struggling to meet expenses can take a significant toll on your mental and emotional well-being, and sharing this burden can sometimes add stress to the relationship. When you're facing financial difficulties, it's easy to feel embarrassed or inadequate. You may worry that your partner will judge you or even feel burdened by your situation. This can create feelings of shame, guilt, or anxiety, making it harder for you to feel comfortable and confident in the relationship. Some people prefer to figure out their finances on their own before revealing anything to their partner, especially if they want to avoid bringing unnecessary tension into the relationship. If you're not in a serious, long-term relationship, it may not feel appropriate to open up about your financial struggles. The concern here is that your partner may not yet have the emotional maturity or the commitment to support you through tough times, which could lead to complications or even cause the relationship to dissolve. In such cases, it's better to focus on managing your finances and seeking solutions without involving your partner right away. However, keeping financial problems to yourself should never be about hiding or being dishonest, especially if the relationship progresses to a stage where joint financial decisions are needed. The key is timing and knowing when it's the right moment to have an honest conversation. It's important that your partner understands the importance of handling financial struggles in a responsible way, without making them feel responsible for your situation. Sharing this part of your life should ideally come when the relationship is strong enough to handle it without placing strain on either of you. 3. Your deepest insecurities. Your deepest insecurities are often things that you keep hidden, even from those closest to you. These are the personal doubts and fears that can have a major impact on how you view yourself, but revealing them too soon in a relationship might cause unnecessary strain. Insecurities can stem from past experiences, personal struggles, or even societal pressures, and they can manifest in many different ways, whether it's a fear of not being good enough, worries about your physical appearance, or concerns about your abilities in life and love. When you're in the early stages of a relationship, revealing your insecurities might unintentionally create doubt or stress. While it's important to be open and vulnerable with your partner over time, sharing too much of your deepest insecurities too soon can sometimes push them away. They might feel the need to reassure you constantly, which can place a heavy emotional burden on them. It can also make them question whether they can live up to your emotional needs, especially if your insecurities are deeply rooted or overwhelming. Additionally, your insecurities may not be something your partner fully understands or can address. No one can heal your personal insecurities except for you, and leaning too much on your partner to fix them can lead to frustration or emotional exhaustion. When someone constantly feels they need to fix you, it can create an unhealthy dynamic where both partners feel responsible for the other's emotional well-being. The fear of being judged or not being enough is real, and it's easy to think that your partner might not accept you fully if they knew about your insecurities. These personal struggles are often best kept private until you've built a level of trust and comfort in the relationship. Once you feel secure and have established emotional stability, you can gradually open up about your vulnerabilities. Until then, it's okay to manage your insecurities on your own, building self-confidence in your own time while your relationship continues to grow. Your true feelings about his friends or family. Your true feelings about your partner's friends or family can be something that's best kept to yourself, especially in the early stages of a relationship. While it's natural to have opinions about the people your partner spends time with, sharing every thought or criticism can sometimes cause unnecessary tension or misunderstandings. Not everyone is going to get along perfectly, and it's important to understand that your partner might have strong emotional ties to their family or close friends that you might not fully understand. If there are certain members of your partner's circle that you don't get along with, or who make you feel uncomfortable, expressing these feelings right away might create conflict. Your partner might feel defensive or upset, especially if they have a close bond with those individuals. It can also make them feel as though you're judging a major part of their life, and they may feel torn between their relationship with you and their loyalty to their friends or family. It's also important to keep in mind that your partner may not be fully aware of the dynamics within their own family or friend group. Sometimes, people have complicated relationships with those closest to them, but they may not feel the need to share every detail with you. Opening up too early about your true feelings can put your partner in an uncomfortable position, as they may feel like they need to choose between you and the people who matter to them. Rather than expressing all of your true feelings, it might be better to observe and navigate the situation gradually. Over time, you'll gain more understanding of their family dynamics and friendships, and you can decide when the right moment is to discuss your feelings. It's essential to approach this subject carefully, making sure that your partner knows that your concern comes from a place of respect and care, not judgment. Building a foundation of trust and understanding before addressing any concerns about their circle will allow for a healthier and more balanced conversation. 5. Your fears about the relationship. Your fears about the relationship are often deeply personal and can stem from past experiences, insecurities, or worries about the future. These fears, whether they involve doubts about your partner's feelings, the longevity of the relationship, or the possibility of heartbreak, are emotions that can cause a great deal of anxiety. While it's important to acknowledge and work through these fears, sharing them too soon can have a negative impact on your relationship, especially if it's still in its early stages. When you express your fears, it's easy for your partner to feel burdened or overwhelmed. They may start questioning their own actions or second-guessing the relationship, even if those fears are unwarranted. If you express too many doubts too early, it can create unnecessary tension, making your partner feel like they have to constantly reassure you. This can be emotionally exhausting for them and may even cause them to pull away if they feel that they cannot live up to the emotional needs you're projecting. Another concern is that focusing too much on your fears can cloud the potential for growth and happiness in the relationship. Instead of fully enjoying the present moment, you may end up fixating on what could go wrong in the future. Constantly talking about your anxieties about the relationship might create an atmosphere of negativity, making it harder for both of you to relax and build a solid foundation. It's important to remember that relationships take time to develop and solidify, and sharing your fears too early may not allow the relationship the time it needs to naturally evolve. In the beginning, it's okay to take things one step at a time and work through your fears internally. As you build more trust and intimacy with your partner, you'll find that you feel more comfortable discussing any concerns you might have about the future. Until then, it's often better to focus on the positives, allowing your relationship to flourish without the added pressure of fears that may not even come true.